Today, I want to talk about scripts because if you're of the opinion that scripts are amateur, let's not throw out the baby with the bathwater, okay? Scripts are simply well-crafted, well-organized suggestions, and you need suggestions if you're going to create those permanent changes that your clients want. So on this video, I'm going to tell you where to get the best script ever. Now, the problem with most scripts is they're just too generic. They weren't written for your client. They were written for somebody else's client. And most of the time, they don't even sound like you. Now, I have a pretty sizable library full of script books and binders and stuff you can see behind me. These cupboards are filled with books. This one here is nothing but binders full of scripts. And the reason that I have so many of these script books is because it's a great way to learn from other people's delivery methods. There's no point in reinventing the wheel. Other people have already been down that path and they figured a lot of it out already. And I found that there are just some seriously elegant turns of phrases that just simply can't be beat. So I don't mind borrowing them. Now, studying other people's scripts can really help you to develop your own style so that you can create your own scripts and craft them really masterfully in a way that speaks to the needs of your clients, because that's the best kind. And the best place to get the best hypnosis script ever is from your client. It's their problem. It's their mind. So that's where you're going to get those answers and solutions from them. Their job is to come up with them. Your job is to help them access that information and then to give it back to them in a way that really hits home, in a way that they can really hear and accept it. So today I've got 3 tips for you just to help you to do that. Now, your most important asset in your sessions is your ability to listen. That's tip number 1. Just listen, pay attention. We were given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. The problem is that in basic training, most of the focus is on how to talk, not how to listen. And you need to know how to listen in a way that is really effective, that's going to get you results. And when you're talking, you need to sound like it's you, like you're really speaking to the client, not like you're reading the newspaper. And the right phrase at the right time, that's not going to come from some generic script. That's got to come from the client because they have the answers that they need. You're just helping them uncover them. So really listen, because the client will tell you. They will give you all the information, exactly what you need to hear, what they need to hear so that they can create those changes. Remember, therapeutic hypnosis is an interactive process. You do it with the client. And knowing how to formulate the right questions is what's going to help you to uncover everything that you need to create the most powerful script ever for that client. And if you keep good notes during your sessions, you just might find that you've got everything you need right there at the end of the session. But if you're using scripts, you'll find that your notes are going to help you to adapt the script to your own client. Not only that, but if you're keeping good notes, you can create scripts out of that you can then adapt to other clients, and it is going to sound like you. Maybe even write your own script book. How about that, huh? Share it with us. So listen, because the client will provide you with the answers to their questions. They will provide you with their solutions to their problem. And they'll also provide you with all the reasons for letting go of the problem, which is the main issue you're dealing with. Those are going to come out of the client's own mind. Tip number 2 is use the same words that the client uses. Those are the words that have real power for that individual. If the client says spectacular, that's their word. Don't assume that spectacular and terrific is the same thing. Don't use wonderful. Use spectacular because that's the word that holds meaning for that client. Now, something you can do during the intake process is ask the client to give you a list of how they're going to benefit from making these changes. So make a benefits list. So ask them, what's life look like once you've made all of those changes that you want? What do you want as a result of doing this work together? I ask my clients to give me at least 7 benefits. I want a list of at least 7 items, more if possible. And then once they've given me that list, what I do is I just read it back to them. I get them to review the list. And I say, okay, so let's just make sure we've got everything. And I'll go through the list. Anything else? Sometimes they'll add to it. If they don't, then I'll ask them, out of these benefits, which one is the most important one? So I want to identify what's the most important benefit to this client. Now, one of the things you'll notice when you're asking for the benefits is that some clients will tell you all the things that they don't want. They'll start saying, well, I won't have to do this, or I won't have to put up with this, or, that won't be that way anymore. And if they start doing that, you want to stop them right away. This is just sort of their habitual way of focusing on things, and it's looking through the lens of the negative. So you want to stop them right there and just tell them, listen, you're telling me what you don't want. What I want you to do is tell me what you do want. So really get clear about that. Get them focusing on what their objectives are in a positive framework. Really what you're doing when you're asking for those benefits of change is you're asking them to share with you and show you and invite you into their vision. I don't remember who wrote this. I wish I did, sorry, but I know that I got it from a script. And it was something like this. Your vision for yourself is your promise to yourself of the future you are living into. Isn't that nice? I just love that. Your vision for yourself is your promise to yourself of the future you're living into. That vision, that's what you want to deliver back to them just before you emerge the client. That's what you want to send them home with after you do the work. You want to send them home with that vision. So hammer it in at the end of the session, that vision, whatever it happens to be, of who they want to be and how they want life to be and how much better they're going to feel because of having made those changes. Because that is what you're helping them to create by working together. Finally, you want to use the power of compounding. Now, the law of compounding very simply says that the more a suggestion is repeatedly accepted, the more powerful it becomes. So this is true whether it's in one session or whether it's over a number of sessions. So you want to gather up those suggestions and keep them somewhere so that you can keep reinforcing them from session to session. This is why hypnosis recordings tend to work better over a period of time. It's because the repetition compounds the suggestions. So the more you listen to the self-hypnosis recording, the more powerful it becomes for you. So that's it. The place to get the best hypnosis script ever is from your client. They bring it with them. Isn't that nice? Makes your job so much easier. So to get that from them, all you have to do is listen. Just pay attention to what they're saying and how they're saying it and their vision for themselves, because the client is going to provide you with all the suggestions that you need, whether before the session or during the session. Just gather it all up. That's gold. So once you've created some space in the client's mind, then you want to give that back to them. Give them back all those benefits, that vision in their own words, and then hammer home those changes powerfully, really compound them in. You may think that you sound like a stuck record, but to the client, what you're saying to them, that's music to their ears. So just keep singing their song, because that's what they most want to hear. And that's how you're going to get those changes that you're after, by compounding them.